Good morning. This is Sarita, your economics teacher. So I'm here again with Cambridge International School, the SUA, to help you out in this world over pandemic COVID-19. So let's not suffer in our subjects and in knowledge. Uh, so let's start for today. So let me begin. So today we are going to do chapter number 3, and the name of the chapter is demand, subject is economics. As you know, topic is demand. So your grade is 11 and I'm Sarita Sani. I already told you. So you might be familiar with me now. So topics to be covered for today. First is demand, second is individual demand and its determinant. As we have not learned about this further, but this is very interesting topic which we're going to learn today. So demand, so how we are demanding something. In journal terms we were using that term, but in economics it has a very much relevance in terms of law of demand. So this is very important topic and we have to understand this. Demand is of two types. First is individual demand, another is market demand. So another then afterwards is that is determinants and function is also again explain all the determinants. So what a kind of function they are playing, so that we are going to discuss in this. Then is demand schedule. Schedule is again how we are going to represent demand on the in the form of table. So then is demand curve. So curve is again a diagram. So how we are going to represent the demand schedule on demand curve. So that we are going to discuss in this today's lesson. So in the last, as we do always, that is the questions to be done for today. So let's do the next thing. First topic for today is demand. So before discussing about demand, there are certain words which we use uh, interchangeably for demand. So what are these words? Let's learn about that. The first word is desire, another word is want, and the third word is demand then. So what is the difference between desire and demand? So let me discuss with you. So if I think about desire in simple words, so I'll give you example of this. Like somebody tells you मैं तेरे लिए तारे तोड़ के ले आऊंगा. So what is that? That is just a desire. So the person is not able to buy stars, or he is not able to fulfill that thing in real. So that is called desire. So it means a wish to have that commodity. So in the old movies, you might have seen hero who was always telling the heroine that I'll bring moon for you, so you look like a moon. So all these things are like desire. So what they are just doing, they are just showing up their desire. So their wish. So that was just wish. Now, when I talk about want, want is something that we want to buy. We want something. So that is also wish. That want is that desire which is backed by the ability. That means we are able to afford it and we are ready to buy that. So readiness, that is willingness to buy that particular thing is there. So in the case of desire, that element is not there. So that element was missing. So that was the difference. So I feel you might be understanding this. But demand, now demand is different from both desire as well as want. So what is the reason behind this? Demand is an extension of want, as it has two more characteristics. So I told you that willingness and ability to back that particular thing, so that we call it as a desire with all the willingness and the ability. That means you have that money with you to buy the particular thing, and you have wish to buy that particular thing. So we call it as that want. Now with want we add two more characteristics, so we call it as demand. So what is that? That is the first point. Demand is always, the first element is demand is always defined with reference to price. So like your mothers are doing whenever they're going to market. So if they are they are really interested in doing bargaining, so in that case what they're doing, they are just asking for the price from the that shopkeeper. And then if the shopkeeper is not ready to bargain or reduce the price, then in that case your mother will ask for more quantity so that he will reduce the price while buying the goods in bulk. Bulk means in more quantity. So if you're buying more in quantity, then obviously sometimes shopkeeper reduce the price of the total total commodity which we are buying, the total quantity of the commodity which we are buying. So he will reduce the price. Like generally I, whatever I do, I always go to the market, and if I feel the price he is charging is more, then what I say, I always say like bhaiya, if I'm going to buy for 5 kg, फिर कितना लगाओगे? So he was always like, suppose I have to buy like onions. So suppose onion is nowadays like price is 25 per kg. So if I have to buy onion, so I want to buy 5 kg, so it will be 125. That will be the price for onion for 5 kg. But what I will tell him, I will tell him, भैया 100 रुपए में 5 किलो दे दोगे? So if he is going to give me that, that is related to the price. So we always demand according to the price. So अगर वो price कम कर लेगा तो I will buy definitely the product. I will demand that particular product and I will fulfill that demand of mine. And if it's not ready to sell the price which I am bargaining, so I will not buy the product. So this is the point. Next thing is, when we talk about demand, in addition to want, another point is demand is always with respect to a period of time. Yes. So period of time, what does it mean? So demand of the product might be reference to demand, it will be reference to of time. So what is that? Even at the same price, demand may change depending upon the time period under consideration. Example, I can give you here. Demand for umbrellas is more in the rainy season as compared to other seasons. So the time frame might be an hour, might be of an hour, a day, or a month, or a year, or a particular season. So you can demand according to that. So the demand for like a particular product is like we can say the winter wear uh, which we are wearing in the winters. So like sweaters, like caps, like all woolen wears. So we are using that those products in the winters only. So demand for those products will be more in the winters. So similarly, if we are talking about swim costume, so if we are talking about swimming costume, so its demand will be more in the summer season, not in the winter season. So price will be charged according to the period of time. So when it was demanded. So is that clear to you? Now we will continue with the first point, that is demand. Demand is the quantity of a commodity that a consumer is willing. अगर मुझे 1 kg लेना है तो I will be demanding for only 1 kg. Fine. Able to buy मतलब मेरे पास उतना पैसा भी होना चाहिए at each possible price during a given period of time. अगर मुझे अभी buy करना है तो I'll be having that much price. I need to agree for that particular price in that time period. So that is what demand is. I hope that is clear to you. Now, we have some essential elements when we talk about the demand. First thing is we need to have quantity of the commodity. So I'm very much clear about I need to buy 1 kg or 2 kg or 3 kg. So that will be always in mind when I'm buying any of the product. Then thing is willingness to buy. I need to buy a pen. So I'll be definitely buying a pen. I'm not going to buy any other thing. So willingness is also very, very important. Fine. Next thing is price of the commodity. So when I talk about price of the commodity, if I'm looking forward for only 10 rupees pen, so I have to buy 10 rupees pen only. I'll just see all the pen that will be available at the price of 10. Then is the period of time. So if that period of time like hmm, I can give you example of umbrellas again. That will be period of time. So when we require it, then it was demanded more. So its price will be high when its demand is more. So that is also the thing. So we demand according to the price. So that is also the point. So period of time is also important. When we require it, we will buy in that season only. So next, let's move on. Demand is now divided into two parts. The first is individual demand, another is the market demand. So when I talk about individual and market demand, let's move and we will just learn about in detail. Now, the first type of demand is individual demand. So it is simply the same demand which we have discussed earlier, but here we are just focusing on only single individual. So it might be me, it might be you. So if you are demanding alone for a particular product, so we call it as individual demand. So it refers to the quantity of a commodity that a consumer is willing and able to buy at each possible price during a given period of time. So we call that as individual demand. So now what are the determinants? So the first determinant is price of the given commodity. So when we talk about the price of the given commodity, so what we talk about this? So it is the most important factor affecting demand for the given commodity. So price. If the price is increasing, obviously we will demand less. So it is always we will demand less. Fine. So generally there exists an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. Jitna price बढ़ जाएगा, we will buy less of that particular commodity. So quantity will be reduced or decreased. Fine. So next is, it means as price increases, quantity demand falls due to decrease in the satisfaction level of consumers. So for example, I can give you one example. Tea. Suppose the commodity is tea and the price of the commodity tea is increased. Now what happened? Its quantity demanded will fall as satisfaction derived from tea will fall due to rise in its price. So we can take example of even other good, that is coffee, and as compared to tea and coffee, if the price of the tea is increased, obviously demand for coffee will, then people will just shift to coffee. So this is the next concept now. So price of related goods. There are two types of related goods. One is the substitute goods, another is the complementary goods. So substitute goods are the goods which we are using at the place of one another. Fine. So like tea and coffee, like Coke and Pepsi, like pen and pencil, like CD and DVD. So like ink pen and ball pen, like rice and wheat. So all these are the substitutes. Now why these are called substitute goods? So let me explain you. So substitute goods are those goods which can be used in place of one another for satisfaction of particular want, like tea and coffee. Another thing is uh, now again, I given you example already. I've given you example that if the price of the tea is increasing and still the price of the coffee is same, so people what they will do, if they feel the price of the coffee is less, then in that case people will prefer to buy more of coffee as compared to tea. So what is that? This is in the case of substitute goods. Most of the time it happens. Fine. So next thing is the complementary goods. Now, complementary goods, like you people might have studied complementary angles. So two angles which are near to each other. So complementary each other. So who are very near or similar to each other. Here, complementary goods means which are demanded together. So which are demanded together. So what are these goods, like tea and sugar? So chai patti and sugar. So both are demanded together. Then pen and ink pen mein obviously ink chahiye. Car and petrol, if you're buying car, then petrol also will be demanded. Bread and butter, pen and refill, then brick and cement. So all these things are demanded together. So complementary goods are those goods which are together to satisfy a particular want, like tea and sugar. So an increase in the price of complementary goods lead to decrease in the demand for a given commodity and vice versa. What happens? Say prices of sugar increases. So if the price of complementary good sugar increases, then demand for the given commodity, that is tea. So tea and sugar both are demanded together. So will fall, as it will be relatively costlier to use both goods together. So demand for given commodity is inversely affected by change in price of complementary goods. Now the next determinant is income of the consumer. Now this is also a very important thing. So if somebody is having normal income, his income is not increasing, his income is not even um, like falling, his income is not reduced. So in that case, demand for a commodity is also affected by income of the consumer. However, the effect of change in income on demand depends on the nature of the commodity under consideration. So if we are talking about normal goods, so what are normal goods? Normal goods are, if the given commodity is a normal good. Now what are normal goods, we will discuss later on. So let's talk about this. Then an increase in income leads to rise in its demand, while a decrease in income reduces the demand. Now there are two types of goods. One is normal goods, another is inferior goods. Now when we have increase in our income, so we will use more of normal goods. Fine. So we will use more of normal goods. So suppose we are taking the example of milk, toned milk. Fine. So toned milk and cream milk. So full cream milk. So we can take example of both. So I'll explain you with another aspect. Let me finish with inferior goods first. So if the given commodity is an inferior good, then an increase in income reduces the demand, while a decrease in income leads to rise in demand. Now, when we talk about the normal goods are those goods which are used by every class. Every class. That means middle class, low class, even the rich class. So they are all using. So if your income is increasing, obviously you will use normal goods. So if you are using, even if you became rich, then you are using luxuries. So here we are talking about only normal goods and inferior goods. So inferior goods क्या होती हैं? Inferior goods are those goods which have income effect that is negative. So in case of normal goods, income effect is always positive. That means income increase, that means you will demand more of normal goods. When we talk about the inferior goods, when our income increases, then we will demand less of inferior goods. Fine. So we will shift to the normal goods. So that is the point. Now we have example of toned milk and the full cream milk. Toned milk uh, to, toned milk is uh, as compared to full cream milk, it is the inferior good. So let's just talk about this. Suppose income of the consumer increases. As a result, the consumer reduces consumption of toned milk. जो मिक्सिंग वाला नहीं आता, पानी वाला पतला होता है थोड़ा दूध, so that will be toned milk. ठीक है, उसमें से क्रीम निकालनी होती है. ठीक है. So increases consumption of full cream milk. In this case, consumption of toned milk and increases consumption of full cream milk. So what will happen? The consumption of toned milk now is reduced, and what happened? Consumption of full cream milk is increased. So next is, in this case, toned milk is an inferior good to the consumer and full cream milk is a normal good. So I hope this is clear to you. Next is the taste and preferences. Yes, sometimes we people always prefer to have a particular taste. Like I can give you example. People are just influenced by changes in fashions, customs, habits, like family traditions sometimes. So they have got their preferences. So taste and preferences of the consumer directly influence the demand for a commodity. So they include changes in fashion, customs, habits, some traditional taste, etc. If a commodity in fashion is in fashion or is preferred by the consumer, then demand for such commodity rises. Like I can give you example of low waist jeans and your regular wear jeans, straight wear we can say. So if we have more fashion of your low waist jeans, so in that time period we will demand, we will prefer, we will have a taste, like fashion will shift to only low waist jeans. So that is the point. So we will prefer that thing. So that is based on taste and preferences. Next is, on the other hand, demand for a commodity falls if the consumers have no taste for that commodity. Like people, if I talk about the toothpaste, I can give you example. People, most of the people prefer to buy only Colgate. So what is the reason behind it? I don't know. But some of the people, their family feels it is the only good like toothpaste which they are using and they are preferring as compared to others. Other one are not like used from the long time. So they are not just like having faith, or you can say the trust. So they prefer to use only Colgate as compared to other. Next is the last is expectation of change in the price in future. So yes, this is also very important point. Like sometimes I can give you very common example. So when government declares that from today onwards, today after 12 midnight, the price of petrol is going to increase. So what happens? People generally go and fill their tank of the car to the maximum level, so that for one day or few days they are able to buy the petrol with the same price which they were already buying in the previous time period. So for the future, we are not preferring to have that thing. So what is this? If the price of certain commodity is expected to increase in near future, then people will buy more of the commodity than what they normally buy. So I can give you now example even of this time. So as we are suffering with COVID-19 pandemic, so when a lockdown started, so people started buying the goods in bulk, and that was a panic buying. So that was also the perfect example we can give for expectation of change in the price in future. So as they know, the quantity will be also not available, and the if the quantity is available, then price is going to be charged very heavy from them. So they started buying more of the products. So what is that? That is again expectation of change in the price in future. So they are thinking like this. Next, we have to talk about now, that is market demand. So market demand, like I told you, it is now opposite of individual demand. So now in the market we are talking about all consumers who are living in the market. So we are talking about all the consumers. So market here we are talking about the full area where we are taking the demand of the product. So it refers to the quantity of a commodity that all consumers are willing and able to buy at each possible price during a given period of time. Like we all want soaps. So everybody is using soap for taking bath. So that is also the point. So that means the total demand for those soaps by all the consumers, that is considered as market demand. Now I hope this is clear to you. Now what are the determinants? Determinants, as we have done in individual demand, so all those factors are uh, also like the part of this market demand. Similarly, it is also affected. There are certain there are certain more factors which are affecting the market demand. So one is the size and composition of population. Suppose the population in one area for females is more. So obviously in that case, we will have more demand for female products. And if in some areas the population for babies is more, so in that case obviously the demand for baby products is more. So size and composition of population, so that is the factor that affects market demand. So market demand for a commodity is affected by size of population in the country. So increase in population raises market demand. So while decrease in population decreases market demand. Like, you know, the situation is getting worse. So because of that, the population is now decreasing. So obviously the demand for the products also, which we are using nowadays, that will be also decreasing. And that is also the point which they are talking about. So composition of males and females, that is also dependent. So if we have more of women in the population, then obviously demand for female products will be more, and males and children, like I told you earlier, even same thing will be there. So if we have more population of women in the market, so we can guess we will have more demand for saris, we will have demand more for lipsticks, we will have demand for more makeups, we will have demand for more dresses, we will have demand for more heels, and etc. So we can talk about this. So next is the season and weather. Yes, I've discussed a little bit with you, like I've given you example of umbrella. So in that also season and weather. Yes, the seasonal and weather conditions also affect the market demand for a commodity. During winters, demand for woolen clothes and jackets increases, whereas market demand for raincoat and umbrellas increases during the rainy season. And similarly, demand for swimming costume and summer clothes, that is increases in the summer season. So this is how the market demand will be affected with the different season and different weather. Next is distribution of income. Yes, this is something different from other factors. So if income of the country is equitably distributed, that means rich are not getting more richer and poor are not getting more poorer. So in this case, then market demand for commodities will be more. So if the income is distributed evenly in the equitably in the country, then obviously demand for all the commodities will be more. But if the income is not distributed in even manner, then in that case rich will become more rich and poor will become more poor. So in this case poor will are not going to demand much, and rich are going to demand much for their users. So this is all about the things. Now we have the next concept, that is demand function. So usually all the points which we have done in the this determinants for the market demand and individual demand, that are the similar, but there are the certain formulas which they have given here. So let me discuss about these formulas now. So the next thing is demand function. It is almost similar to the determinants which we have discussed earlier for individual as well as market demand. So the first 6 points are the which we have covered, the determinants of individual demand. Another 3 last points are the addition to the individual demand determinants, and that will be the market. All together are the market demand, that is the market demand function which we are using here. So these are the just symbols which we are using for. So dx is used for demand for the commodity x, then px is used for the price of the given commodity x, then price of related goods, so pr we are using for this, y is for the income of the consumer, and t is taste and preferences. Then f is the future, it is related to expectation of change in price in future. Then po is related to population, so size and composition of population, that is the demand function for market demand. Then is the season and weather. So season and weather is also the next point which we are using with the symbol S. Then is D, distribution of income. So I've discussed all the points. So here we have to just learn the function of this. So this is the most important point here. So let's move on now the next topic, that is demand schedule. When we talk about demand schedule, it is the table. So we have discussed earlier even. So there are two types of even. If we have two types of demand, then obviously we have two types of individual and market demand schedule. So the first one is representing here the price of ice cream, and that will be shown 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you know, the price is less, the demand is more. So you can see the quantity is 4. Then when price increased to 2, then it is like 3. Then the quantity is 3. Then when price increased to 3, then the quantity is 2. And when price increased to 4, then the demand will be 1. So this is how the individual demand schedule. So here you can see the inverse relationship this like this. So price is increasing and the demand is decreasing. So this is what the demand schedule is. So law of demand we will also discuss with this. Next thing is market demand schedule. So when we add 2 or 3 customers preferences, so when we add 2 or 3 individuals in the market, so suppose we have 2 individual in the market. First is like the similar one which we have done, another is the like demand we have got. So we have got for 1 and 2, so we got 2 individual, they are demanding for the products ice cream, and in the second you can see we have to add the value for both, and then we have to calculate the value for market demand. So if we are supposing only 2 consumers are there, A and B, so we are adding up the values for both, and then we are finding out the market demand. So this is how we are drawing for market demand schedule. Now the next point is after demand we schedule, we have to do the curve. So curve is again the graphical representation of these both the points. So here the curve is different from the schedule. As I was not available with the same curve, so I'm just discussing the point. So mainly what happens, the values which are given, prices will be similar for each and every, even market, for market also prices will be the similar units, 1 to 5, and that will be the 1 to 5 for all individuals. So here we have 2 individuals, X and Y. So we are talking about 2 demand curves of X and Y. When we are going to add both the values, then we are going to get the market demand. Generally what happens, the individual curves are not flat, but when we are drawing the market demand curve, it will turn to be flat. So here it is not shown, but I'll show you in the future when we are talking about the demand, law of demand. So we will discuss about this. So this is the last thing which we have to do it, and after this we are left with slope. So how we have to calculate the slope for this? So the general formula is change in P, that is change in price, and X, that means the commodity. So price of the X commodity, that change in the price, and what is the change in the quantity. So that we are taking it as slope. So slope, you can see the diagram. So price change is 0. They have shown you this, and then as you can see the change in quantity is also mentioned here. So that is how we are drawing the slope. Here we need not to calculate here anything, but just we have to remember the formula for slope. Slope is generally always equal to, that is change in P. This triangle represents change. Fine. So the change, like price previously was 10 rupees, now the price has decreased, that is 9. So the change in previous price and the now the new price, so that is 1. So that 1 we are taking it as here change in P. Then as X quantity earlier was 100 units, now it is 150 units. So what happened, the change in quantity is, that is 50 units. So that we are going to represent here. So for today this is all about. Now we are moving further to the, so the question for today is define demand. Then the next question is difference between individual and market demand. You have to explain it. And then what are the determinants of individual and market demand, that you can use it all together and then segregate for me. Then explain demand schedule with individual and market demand schedule. So you can explain it as I explained you. Then is explain demand curve with individual and market demand curve. So all these topics we have covered today. So what is the slope of demand curve, that we have to discuss. So that's it. So In the end, I would say thank you. God bless you. Stay happy, stay healthy, enjoy learning at home. So I hope we are going to win this pandemic 19, COVID-19. So then we are doing very well in the school. So we will definitely meet very soon after this all ends and our world survive from this COVID-19 pandemic. So pray for that even. So God bless you. Thank you so much. If you have any query, you can discuss with me.